Well, Brad, we made it to week number 1 of the college football season. Last Saturday was a lot of fun, but I have a feeling today is going to be even more so. More than 1,500 people in the waiting room before we hit go. A record stream already. Cash the overs from the prop list that was put out. How are you feeling with the first, we'll call it official week 1 Saturday of the college football season?
I couldn't be more excited, Adam. I can't wait to do this.
All right, so we've got a lot of similar faces in the YouTube chat. If you are on the app, get inside of the chat. We're going to ask a couple things as we go. And also, if this is your first time, second time, third time, if you're joining us, get us over 10,000 subscribers. We're just hanging below it. If you have a second, hit the subscribe button. We'll see if we can push through the 10,000 subscriber mark, maybe the $10,000 mark from the bets coming today. Multiple bets expected here from Brad Powers. So let's see how that goes. And also a reminder, Monday morning, we'll be back 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're doing this every Monday and Saturday, but we will be back with the guys from Right Angle Sports in half an hour. So it's a doubleheader Saturday here for college football betting. Brad, you're a busy guy. Everyone in the chat's ready for bets. Should we get to the first one?
Let's do it.
All right. So here's how we're going to do it. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we'll tell you what time we're betting. A lot of college football games. Open your sportsbook app. Go through the menu. We'll narrow it down for you. We will tell you what game we are betting on then, so you can go and sort of dial it in from that time range. We'll tell you if it is a side or a total, and then shortly after, we will tell you what the bet is. So there'll be 4 quick steps. We'll get you through the sportsbook menu, and we will guide you along with the process. And remember, multiple bets. So don't just jump out after the first one. Stick with us. Mike McCormick, I see you in the chat. The rotation number will be in there as well. So we will start things off with a game that is at 4 p.m. Eastern. And if your sportsbook has an extra games menu, you will find this game located within that menu. So it is a 4 p.m. game. And if you have college football extra, that is where you are going to find this game located within the menu. We'll give you a couple seconds to get around and get to that spot within your sportsbook app. And then I will give you the rotation number as well as the game. So at 4 p.m., we are looking at game number 309048. Be the rotation number that you can find this. 309048. And the game is at 4 p.m. Eastern, Tennessee State, Eastern Washington. So I'll give you a few more seconds to dial in on 309048, Tennessee State, Eastern Washington. Within this game, we will be betting a total. So there's going to be on the total of Eastern Washington, Tennessee State. And the first bet of the day is under 63.5 points. So we're going 309048 Eastern Washington, under 63.5. Brad, we're getting to the extra games here. Before everyone lets us know, or as they do, what number they were able to get, where they're able to bet it. We're seeing numbers move here. What did you make the game? What's the breakdown here of this under?
Yeah, I made the game 59.5, Adam. And usually with these FCS games, they're a real simple handicap. In this instance, you got an Eastern Washington team that loses one of the best FCS players in recent memory at quarterback, a multiple-year starter. His name was Eric Barria. This total is expecting a lot of a brand new starting quarterback. So especially against a Tennessee State team that's usually a slow-paced under type team. So under 63.5, I made it 59.5.
So we're seeing already FanDuel's to 58.5. So it seems like the market is well headed towards that number that you made it, which is what we've seen with a couple of the other extra games that we have gone to. So we'll see where this ultimately settles. But a lot of folks were able to get the 63.5. We'll have some polls up as we go. And if you are looking for a specific book, you can see here within the list on Spank Odds, which we're using as the odds provider for these release shows, which books have it available. But a very quick move there. We'll see in the chat how people are able to do as the producers throw up the poll. Let us know within the chat what you're able to find. Moving on to bet number 2. So this is a game that is at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And it'll again be found in the extra games option within the betting menu. So if you have the extra games tab open, get back into that, go down to 6 p.m. You will be able to see the second bet that we are looking at in the extra games menu. Give everybody a couple seconds to reset here as we get on to bet number 2. We are looking at bet number 2 in game number 309051, 309052, Towson, Bucknell. This game is at 6 p.m. Eastern time. There's Towson, Bucknell, 309051, 309052. For this second bet, we are looking at a side. And the bet that we are making is Bucknell plus 20.5, 309052. So we're betting Bucknell plus 20.5. Let us know in the chat what number you were able to get. Seems like a lot of places as we go here taking them off the board. Not surprising here, Brad, as we see this game now down to 16.5 at FanDuel. What number did you make it? Break down your bet here on Bucknell plus 20.5.
Yeah, I made the game 17. It's a real simple handicap here. Unlike the FBS markets, the FCS markets, usually when you look at experience, returning experience or lack thereof, usually isn't properly priced in the market. Bucknell's number 1 in the country in returning production. Meanwhile, Towson's bottom 15. So a big of a disparity as you're going to see in the entire FCS card this weekend. I didn't think Bucknell got upgraded enough, Towson downgraded enough, therefore value on Bucknell here.
Straight and simple, just like the first one. We're seeing a lot of people within the chat getting kind of bounced around by their sports book. And so we're going to keep monitoring this as we go week to week. Again, from the last show to this one, we moved it back an hour because when we went an hour later, we were seeing that a lot of places were already getting hit and there was just everything was getting worked over. Obviously, with these games, there's going to be selected availability, and we'll keep working to find the best prices and the best time to go. But it's kind of a back and forth, obviously, with this being week 1. We're seeing that there's more availability from a bet perspective, but some people having difficulty here as books are pulling the lines, as we can see as we go through here, but we'll continue to work this out. So we'll go for a third bet here, and we'll see how books treat everyone for this, but this is at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it will once again be found in the extra games list. So we will give everybody a second to reset, go to the extra games within your college football menu. And it is a game at 7 p.m. Eastern time. The rotation number for this game is 309063, 309064, Presbyterian Austin Peay. And again, this game is at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you can find 309063, 309064, Presbyterian Austin Peay, that will be the game we're looking at for the third bet here on the show. And within this game, we are going to be betting a total. And Brad, we can kind of already see what's happening on the screen as we're going under 72 in Austin Peay, Presbyterian. And this, again, we're seeing, so this is something we're going to have to adjust as we go on to next week, isn't it? As we're seeing books immediately start to pull these down.
Yeah.
One of them went to minus 250 on the under right there as we released it. So we can see what's going on. But while we're looking at this under 72, let's talk about this game here as we continue to kind of look at this and adjust for next week.
I made it 67, and I even think that's super conservative. That it's one simple handicap. I think some people probably remember Presbyterian featured last year, the coach that never punted, and their games averaged 90 points per game. That coach is gone, and that's not proper. They're no longer going to be running that style of offense, never punting and whatnot. No, he's going for it. So because of that, a massive downgrade in your totals markets for Presbyterian that I just didn't think didn't get properly adjusted here. I made it 67, and even then I was being conservative.
I'm going to pry here because obviously this is one of the most extreme coaching changes and philosophy changes that we've seen maybe ever in college football. Where do you even begin to start to make a conservative number with this team? Do you go back a couple seasons? Do you look at past coaching history? I know a lot of people making adjustments, but where do you even go for this?
Use past, because it was just one season last year for the Presbyterian coach. So I go back to past seasons for Presbyterian. I also take their new coach and see what kind of style he was running. So that's where you start. And again, I think I'm being super conservative. I looked at last season's averages, made some adjustments, downgraded about 7 to 10 points. And even then, I think I'm being super conservative.
Fantastic. So again, we have 3 bets here on the show, but as we saw, availability was quite difficult. We moved the show back an hour. It may have been a little bit too far of a move back. We'll continue to monitor. Last week we went at 8:15 Pacific. So we'll keep in line trying to figure out what the best time is for everybody here on the show. But as it stands, Eastern Washington under 63.5, Bucknell plus 20.5, and then Austin Peay Presbyterian under 72. 3 bets. Brad, we got the breakdowns for each. We'll continue to see what the best time is and work with everybody here on the stream. You obviously, when you're making these numbers, you're giving out the bets, a lot of influence with how things go and what that is ultimately going to do to the number. And then when we have 1,700 people all betting with us, it kind of shows how difficult it is for a lot of people to bet together, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. We'll figure it out as we go here, Adam.
All right. So we have 3 bets for today. And again, we have another release from the guys at Right Angle Sports coming in 17 minutes. That video is available within the YouTube channel. Here it covers, but I'll be tweeting it out as well. Continue to monitor these times, and we will see everybody back here Monday morning for FBS odds as we've been betting them here with Brad Powers, 11 a.m. Eastern Monday morning. See everybody then, and see everybody in 17 minutes for the Right Angle Release Show.